Good evening. Hello. My name is Frankie Kington. I'm a wise entrepreneur. And thank you for tuning to this YouTube channel. It's 25th of August, Tuesday evening, and it's just gone 7 o'clock. And I have a good friend of mine on my YouTube channel, and his name is called Stuart Bradley. And Stuart has a range of skills. He's a big football fan as well. So that's like me. So we've got a lot in common. And Stuart's going to be talking to us about what he does, his struggles and how he's transformed his life and really inspired a lot of people in his family, probably in the area where he lives and obviously where he works. So Stuart's got a great career and a great story to tell us. So thank you again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. And I'd like to introduce Stuart Bradley. Stuart's a construction manager and he works in Qatar. Wow, that's incredible, Qatar. And he's going to touch on what he does, and he's going to touch on his journey and why he's here today and what he's going to inspire us with. So, Stuart, thanks again for coming on my channel. And how are you, Stuart?
My pleasure,
today?
Frankie.
You're very welcome.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good today. Thank you, Frankie. Thanks again for inviting me.
You're welcome.
As I mentioned, this is probably the first time I've done this, so I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm excited at the same time.
That's good. Nerve shows that you care, Stuart. So yeah, I'm just nervous.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So Stuart, yeah, touch on construction management. What is that? Touch on that. What you do, Stuart. Yeah, I'm sure people want to hear about that.
Yeah. Okay. So I've been in the construction industry for over 30 years now. Started when I was back in Liverpool in the late 1980s, and I joined a small contracting company back then, and I was working on the Liverpool development, which is the Albert Dock area in Liverpool when that was being done. So I was quite fortunate at that time. There wasn't a lot of work in the city at the time. I was given the opportunity, and I took the chance. And I also went to college at the same time, so I was learning as well as working. And that's when my career took off, really. For a few years, I worked around the northwest of England and worked for local authority and the water industry as well. And then I got an opportunity in my early 20s to work overseas. I went working out in Asia and Kazakhstan also for 2 or 3 years. And it was an amazing experience. And for somebody who's in the early 20s to have that experience. And then I come back to the UK and worked mainly in design and construction supervision in infrastructure projects, mainly rail and water projects in the UK. I moved down to London. I worked on the Channel Tunnel Rail Link, which is the high-speed one now, the Eurostar from Paris to London. I worked on that project for a few years. And that's when I moved into project management in about 2005. And worked on, again, projects in London. I worked on the London Olympics. That was probably one of the highlights of my career, working, managing projects to do with the Olympic Games. And then more recently, in the last 5 years, I moved out to the Middle East, where I've been working on different projects in Abu Dhabi. I worked in Saudi Arabia for a short period of time. The last few years I've been in Qatar, so working on projects there, mainly to do with infrastructure projects for the World Cup. That's going to be coming in 2022. And but the project I'm on at the moment is a real estate development for Qatar Petroleum, who are probably the biggest employer in Qatar, I would say. And we're working on the new headquarters for them. So a very high profile project and quite stressful as well. A lot of pressure, deadlines to meet on a weekly basis, really.
So what? So because you have so many skills to it, you worked in so many different places. What would you say the best places where you've worked? Why would you say that's the best place? Is any place what stands out for you?
Well, I've always got a fondness for really from where I come from in Liverpool. I'd always be grateful for the projects that I worked on in the first couple of 3 years in Liverpool. I worked on the Mersey Estuary Pollution Scheme, which was basically to stop all the wastewater going into the River Mersey and helping to clean the River Mersey, which obviously coming from the city and seeing the water becoming more clean and more fish in the water. It was a real real personal benefit, really. But after that, I would say I'd have to say London. Although I've worked overseas, worked on some great projects overseas.
Yeah.
I'd have to say London. My career only really took off when I moved to London, and I say that financially. But I also say that from, say, a networking point of view. The amount of people that I got to know in the industry over sort of the 10 to 15 years. I have maybe 500 people who I'm on LinkedIn with, who I know that I can get in touch with and ask questions and seek advice, and they're there and they're good contacts. And I would say I'd have to say London. It was a real springboard for me in my career. Yeah.
What part? Because London's quite a big place, and there's so much going on in London. It's so rich, it's diverse. There's so much to do there, and that's great. So, what part of London? What part of London was that, Stuart, where you worked?
Well, as a family, me and my wife, we ended up settling in southeast London.
Yeah.
In a place called Eltham, which is maybe about 5 to 10 miles from central London, but still classed as within the London area. And we really settled in, as a family there. We had our children while we were there. We've had 3 different houses in the same area, and it is a really nice part of the world. But as I say, also easily commutable into London. Apart from the Channel Tunnel rail link, which I worked on in Kent, the other projects were mainly based. That's where the work is, and that's it's a real hub. Not just for the construction industry, but also different sectors like the finance sector as well. So London's been good for me.
That's great. So I know you said you worked abroad, Stuart. Yeah. Any tips or any advice you give to anybody who wants to work abroad? Because your job is a very kind of high-profile job. It's very lucrative. Any tips would you give to people who want to work abroad? Is it a challenge? Is it adventurous? What would you say, Stuart?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I would say for anybody who's young in the industry, right? If you're given an opportunity when you're young, take it. Whether it's geographical, go and working in a different country, whether it's more responsibility, more of a challenge for yourself. When you're young, don't think about the money. Think about the personal benefit that you can get out of it, whether it's personal development, whether it's experience.
I like that.
Just take the opportunity. The other side of things, the financial side, that will sort of that will come online.
Sort yourself out financially, Stuart.
Yeah, but I would say, definitely for young people, take the opportunity. Also, obviously, studying. That's the time to study and get your qualifications as well. But generally, working overseas, I would say, you have to be mindful of maybe different cultures that you're working with. okay, London, as you say, is quite diverse itself, which helped me. But you'll find if you're working overseas that there's so many different cultures, nationalities,
Wow.
religions. But one thing I would say is that despite what you read and you hear on the mainstream media about other parts of the world, it's all about the people, and more often than not, people are just good people to get on with.
That's really
It hasn't really over the years. I would say that's been one of the highlights, really, working with so many different nationalities, so many
that's great.
cultures,
Wow.
and the fact that so for example, in Qatar, I think somebody mentioned a few weeks ago that there's 100 different nationalities that are living and working here.
Wow.
And for the most part, people get on. People get on. Obviously, being able to speak English, that's a big plus, because most people do speak English. I would say if you're planning to go and work in a certain part of the world, maybe South America or the Middle East, I would always encourage people to maybe try and pick up a bit of the language.
I was going to ask you that question. You read my mind to it.
Yeah, I mean, we are, as I say, we are spoiled.
Yeah, have you picked up any languages or any languages you can?
Yeah, well, I picked up a little bit of Arabic. I picked up Spanish. Well, Salam Alaikum is a greeting in Arabic. That's sort of God be with you.
Really put it.
Just
learn the culture and the language, just out of respect as well.
Yeah, you don't have to, you don't have to go and study at night school and things like that. Just make an effort, really, just to pick it up.
Yeah.
And it goes a long way. It is, and it's reciprocated when people know that you've taken a bit of an effort. And but I would say, for anybody really who gets the opportunity, then you should take it. But at the same time, never forget where you've come from, and always be grateful. I'll always be grateful that I've got some my family, some great friends and colleagues back in the UK, and I am actually planning to return to the UK soon.
Wow.
So I'll be looking to get in touch with. Well, I've already started getting in touch with people already. So
excellent. And is there any more business what you're doing, Stuart? You touched on a great career there. Do you do any more business? Do you do anything else? What you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I'm a civil engineer by profession. I'm a chartered civil engineer, and spent most of my career, as a civil engineer, as I mentioned, the projects that I worked on. But I'm actually a qualified building surveyor as well. I did a master's degree about 5 years ago now in building surveying, because I've always been interested in the building side of it. I did own a number of properties when I was back in the UK, so I've always had an interest in the building or the property side of things.
Excellent.
So I did a master's degree in building surveying, which was very rewarding from a personal perspective. And also I did have, when I was in London, I did have a small building surveying practice myself, a small business. I used to do building surveys, valuations, party wall assessments, things like this. Only on a small level, but something I really enjoyed doing in addition to my day job, if you like.
And was that the same as well when you worked abroad, doing like the buildings? Would you say the buildings were a lot different abroad than what they are to the UK? Different structures?
Yeah, different in terms of construction. Yeah. The the methods, and certainly in the likes of the Middle East, they use a lot of concrete here, concrete and steel. Mainly because not because of the design as such. It's more to do with the fact that you have a lot of migrant labour here that's, you know, deemed to be cheap labour, so they can sort of flood the construction sites with the labour, and, you know, do labour intensive activities such as concrete and steel erection and things like that. I have thought myself that, you know, really there needs to be a shift towards more sustainable development in the Middle East. It's a bit of a, I would say, it's a bit of a false economy to rely on, you know, cheap, low-skilled workforce.
Yeah.
To do
Cheap
the, you
labour.
know,
Yeah,
to
you know,
build,
cheap.
yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't
And, they,
help.
and
Does it?
yeah, you know, it makes it harder in a lot of ways to manage the projects
Yeah.
when you have that. Well, on the other side, in fairness to them, certainly in Qatar and other countries, they are looking at more on the sustainable side. Certainly, the stadiums that have just been built for the World Cup, a
Wow.
lot of those stadiums are using a lot of sustainable materials, whether it be, you know,
That's great.
types of wood or different types of you know, materials that are sort of classified really as a, you know, sustainable products. But also, some of the stadiums are being built on the basis that they can be deconstructed afterwards, because obviously the World Cup, there's a demand, there's a high demand for a short period, but they're not going to need sort of 10 football stadiums after the World Cup. So a lot of them will either be reduced in capacity, or I think some of them are going to actually be taken down altogether.
Wow. Thanks for sharing that, Stuart, with you. I've really enjoyed interviewing you today on my YouTube channel. I think it's been great. You've got loads
Thanks, Frankie.
of skills, and your life is quite rich. You've really used your skills to your advantage. You've been all over the world. That's something I need to do more of. So you've inspired me there, Stuart, to travel a bit more. You shared what you do, and I thought it was great, Stuart, and I really enjoyed you being on this video, on my YouTube, on my video channel. Stuart, would you like to leave any information for anybody watching this? Or would you like to leave any details, any contacts where people get in touch if you want anybody to get in touch with you, or you want to inspire people?
Yeah, I would. I mean, I know I mentioned about in the title, I was going to talk about stress. I seem to have overlooked that really in the discussion. But yeah, certainly, you know, I have had a lot of challenges over the years dealing with stress. And in the last few years, I've started doing the likes of yoga, and which has really helped me a lot.
It's great to do it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I did it. I first did it because I had a back injury. It helped me over that. But then I also seen the other side of it, which is, you know, they sort of helping me to calm and to become more focused. And as I say, to deal with stress, really, stress is something that's always been part of me, and it is for many people, and it's always there. And I think it's something that you can't actually cure, but you can control it. You can. There's methods of controlling it. And more recently, as I say, I joined the coaching and mentor program with the ICA in Liverpool with John Haynes, which I think you previously were on that course as well, Frankie.
That's right, Stuart. It's a great course, isn't it, Stuart? John Haynes' course, International.
Fantastic, yeah.
It's a great course, yeah.
And, you know, and I've learned, you know, being on that course, I've learned other techniques of, again, of just dealing with the day-to-day issues in, you know, in my work and the work-life balance and things like that. And so what it's led me to do recently, I've actually I've set up a networking group in Qatar, and it's a way of making people aware of that there's people in the profession who they can contact and talk to. What I find is with certainly with coping with stress, that it's good to talk. You should not keep it to yourself. You should talk to people about it. you'd be surprised how many other people have to deal with stress as well. And as I say, it led me to set up a networking group, and it's gone from there really. I've also recently got in touch with a local charity called the Lighthouse Club, and the Lighthouse Club is a worker welfare charity primarily, to help people who've sort of fallen on bad times or what have you. But they also have, as part of the charity, they have a construction helpline. And again, it's all about mental health and awareness. And I've actually been in touch with them recently to offer my services to help with the construction helpline. So, so if anybody does want to contact me, I have an email address. It's called projectprofessionals@mail.com. Okay, all one word, Project Professionals. And you can contact me, and I can give you some more information again about sort of mental health and well-being. I'm not a counsellor in any way. I'm not an expert in that field, but I can certainly share my personal experiences, and hopefully that will help people. And also, if you want to find out more about the networking side of things that I'm doing, it's been very popular in the few months that I've set it up. I can give more information about that, and also, as I say, on the construction helpline side of things, I can give people more information on that as well.
Thanks a lot, Stuart. I mean, I'm very spiritual as well. I do spiritual meditation. I'm a Buddhist, and we're all Buddhists. So I think it's really important. And stress as well, you talked about stress. It's so important that we can cope and deal with that, because stress is a killer, isn't it, Stuart? If we're not in control of it, it will take our lives. So I think you can see Stuart has a range of experience of life and how he's coped with different situations, different challenges, what he's had, and how he can sort of like cope and deal with stress. So I really feel, Stuart, you've really inspired me there. And you're very spiritual. Spiritual meditation always helps, Stuart, with stress.
Sure.
It's very, very powerful. So, you know, I practice Buddhism, and anybody who's interested in Buddhism, it's an amazing philosophy of life. It's a way of life which enlightens you and transforms your life and helps you deal with life in a better way. So I'd just like to say thank you, Stuart, for sharing everything on this YouTube today. It's been really valuable.
My pleasure, Frankie.
Stuart gave all these details. My name's Frankie Kington, becoming the Wise Entrepreneur. I'm on Facebook. I've got an Inspiring Voice channel. I've got my personal channel, and I've got Empowering Youth Development channel there on Facebook. I've got my YouTube channel here. So if you like this YouTube and this video, please just drop me a link below to subscribe to my website or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Drop me a comment below, hit the notification button, and send me a like and tell me a little bit about what you thought of the video, a little bit of feedback. Stuart gave his information, his details. You know where to find me. I have a member site as well where I advertise everything what I do on my portfolio of who I am. It's memby.com/Frankie-Kington. You'll find all my information on there, my portfolios, my testimonials, and where I can give you help and support as well. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs, thought leaders. Thanks for tuning in today in this video channel. Take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks again, Stuart. Thanks again. Bye-bye, my friend.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Frankie.
Cheers. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.